went to Costco yesterday and I bought this chicken. I paid $5 for it, and I want to see exactly how I can stretch this chicken out to get my $5 worth, which I already have walking out the door getting this monster sized chicken, but I really want to get the most out of it, mostly to be appreciative for the chicken for what it's done for us, but also because I think that there's more than just scraping, you know, taking the chicken off the bone and using it and kind of calling it quits. So my thought is I am going to take this chicken apart. I'm going to, after I debone it, I am going to make some chicken stock. And after I make chicken stock, I am going to use that stock to make a soup. So kind of like a chicken tortilla soup, but just my own personal spin on it. So I'll get at least one meal that way. Then with the rest of the chicken, I think I am going to do a Thai chicken salad with coleslaw mix, a peanut sauce, green onions, things along those lines. But I will show you how I do that as well. But all I'm doing right now is just getting this very fancy rubber band off of here so that I can get this chicken broken down. I am going to take the skin off and leave the chicken over here so that I can handle it later. But I am going to probably leave the breast in chunks because I want to use those, I believe, for a chicken sandwich that's done on, served on a ciabatta bread with pesto and melted mozzarella, sliced tomato. So I think that will be really good. But I'm just kind of going along, just thinking as I go along what I can do to stretch this chicken and get the absolute most use out of it. So what I have in the bottom of this heavy bottom stock pot so far is just the liquid that was at the bottom of the bag. I did let this get completely cooled off. It stayed in the fridge overnight, and I just took it out a few minutes ago to start working with it. So it is pretty easy. It's a lot faster if you work with it when it's hot, but I didn't really have space in the refrigerator to do some of the other stuff that I wanted to. So I decided to let that be a today project as opposed to a yesterday project. But this is what I'm working with right now. And I will show you what happens when I get it completely broken down and the chicken and the carcass completely separated. Okay, so I have my chicken completely taken off the bone. Let me show you what this looks like. Here's all the chicken, there's the skin in there, all the little bits. Now there are a couple of chunks of chicken that are still in there, but it's okay, it's not the end of the world. I can always fish them out later. But I have the breast right here, the thighs, and then these are just the other parts that I was able to take off of the bones. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna set this to the side since we're done with this for the moment. And I'm gonna add in 8 cups of water, and I am gonna turn the burner on. This oven, we call it, well, stove, oven, whatever, we call it the flamethrower, because no matter what temperature you put it on, and it doesn't matter which burner you put it on, if you put it on low, it's still going to be screaming hot. So I'm gonna put it about medium low. I'm gonna add in 8 cups of water, and I'm probably gonna put in some pepper. I'm not gonna add salt yet because I know that it's already seasoned from when Costco prepared it. If you were doing a chicken like at home, you could, you know, season it however you want and then just adjust your salt accordingly. But I'm going to add this water in, and as soon as this, if this isn't enough, I'll add more, but I basically just want to cover the bones and the little bits. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it to a boil and then let it reduce to a simmer and probably let it go for about an hour or so. But that's what it looks like right now. Wish I had smell-o-vision so you could see or smell what it smells like. But here it is. This little bit of wishbone is hanging out of the water. But I feel like once this comes to a boil, it'll probably be fine. I may actually add 2 more cups of water just to give it a little bit more liquid, since this is a pretty big chicken. So I will say I'll end up with 10 cups. And if you had a bay leaf, this would be a perfect time to throw it in, but I just looked in the spice cabinet and didn't see any, so just do without this time. Okay, so this is what it's looking like. I added in a generous amount of black pepper, You can see it kind of swirling. Well, it's not really swirling much, but it is moving around. So as soon as this comes up to a boil, I'm going to put a lid on it and then drop it to a simmer probably for an hour or so and then check it. Maybe longer. You could also definitely do this if you had an Instant Pot or a pressure cooker. I just know that I'm going to use this pot later to finish my soup. So I figured rather than dirty up two, I just use this one. But I'll show you what it looks like when it gets done. Thanks for hanging out with me. Okay, it's been like 3-4 hours, I guess, since this has been simmering. And I just turned the heat off. And what I'm going to do is scoop out all of the solids in here and strain it into this this glass measuring bowl that I've got. Try not to get it all over the stove. And this is not going to be a clear chicken stock. This is just going to be, I would say, fairly cloudy. And that's because I left the skin on and didn't try to do anything like remove any scum. Although I can say that I didn't really see any scum as this was simmering, because I did check on it periodically. It does have a little bit of fat like in it. I don't really think that's a problem because I wasn't trying to go for like a super lean, really low fat stock. I just wanted to get as much as I could out of this, out of the bones. So all the goodness of like the collagen and everything that you get by letting it simmer for so long. And it's funny because I'm picking up pieces and it's just like falling completely apart. So it's not terrible. And if you were concerned about the fat, what you could do is let this cool and the fat will develop in a layer on the top, and then you could scrape it off and discard it if that's something that is going to be an issue, if you are just concerned about having too fatty of a broth. I'm not sure how much I'll end up with once I scoop all of this out, but whatever I end up with will hopefully be enough for soup for 2 people for at least 1 meal, maybe a second meal. Curious to see how much mileage we'll get from it, but I am very happy with this. The bones are nice and soft. There was still a little bit of meat left on here, but I am going to send this outside. I know that there's something in our backyard that will come and get it if it's a raccoon or a possum. I know this will definitely not go to waste. So I've got what I wanted from it, and now we'll be able to share the remnants with whatever's in our backyard. And I probably will pick this up, but I have a feeling, yeah, these handles are still really hot. But I am going to pour the rest of this in here, and I'll show you what it looks like in just a second. Okay, so spoiler alert, I did actually spill a little bit of it on the stove, but I cleaned it up. But here's the final product. Chicken carcass, water to cover, about 10 cups, a little bit of pepper. I did not add any salt, but I'm very happy with this as a basic chicken stock. I'm going to let it sit here and cool off a little bit, and if that fat does harden up on the top, I will probably scoop it off. But I just wanted to share this with you. Thanks for hanging out with me.